She just got done working out. Um, I biked today, but I'm going to talk a little bit about some latest updates with the whole Wall Street bets thing. As you guys know, I have been just completely fired up since yesterday after hearing about, you know, what's been going on. Keep my phone up here. Just completely fired up and mad and just crazy with what's going on, what's been happening. So let's talk a little bit about some updates from last night. So first of all, as you guys know, Robinhood and a few other financial firms, which all pretty much followed in Robinhood's tracks, shut down trading, shut down buying of every meme stock that we had on Wall Street Bets yesterday. Literally every single one that we've been talking about. Ironically, Palantir Technologies was not included in the list. So if you follow Wall Street Bets and you've been in all the stocks, hey, what's up? You know that Palantir was not included, so we could still buy Palantir yesterday, which is funny because that's probably the one stock out of all the stocks on Wall Street Bets that I have the most money in. But anyway, so yesterday they shut down buying. So last night, so there are a few updates that we've got. So first of all, a few of the financial firms like Webull and some of the smaller, not Robinhoods, are allowing people to buy today. Robinhood is allowing certain buys to go through today. Not a lot, but certain kinds of buys. I'm not sure exactly. I don't think anyone really knows what that means. We know there's like limits on the amounts of shares you can buy, maybe on the price that you can pay for it. And I don't think they're allowing any options, or the options are really limited. But basically, so we got some good interviews with the Robinhood CEO last night to find out what's been going on. And here's essentially what they said. So basically, what he said is that, and it's basically what he's saying makes absolutely no sense. So you tell me. He said that because of SEC regulation, they have to have when trades are really volatile, they have to have a certain amount of capital in reserve to cover like the buying and selling. Because you know how like when you buy a stock, it takes 3 days for it to clear and stuff. So they have to have a certain amount of money in their clearinghouse. Now that's a nice like excuse in a way, but here's the problem. There are a few problems with their excuse. So first of all, so that would indicate they have a liquidity problem, correct? If they need to have a certain amount of capital and they don't think they can have it, so they had to shut these stocks down. So the Robinhood CEO was asked directly, do you have a liquidity problem? He said, no, we do not. Okay. So the reason he also said wasn't the reason. The next problem with all of this is the hedge fund. We all come to find out that the hedge fund, who is literally the big one in this whole mess, the one who bailed out, well, I can't even remember the name right now. The one that bailed out the one that lost all the money on GameStop has a significant stake and ownership in Robinhood. So that's really weird. So the other thing that we found out is that the SEC did not order Robinhood or any financial firm to do this. We also know that the New York Stock Exchange, who's the only one who's supposed to control and shut down stock trading due to fraud or illegal activity or anything like that, did not do this. So Robinhood took it upon themselves to act as the New York Stock Exchange yesterday. What damage did they do? Well, first of all, they made it so you could not buy the stock, you could only sell. So some people got scared, obviously, and sold, right? Which caused the stock to go down because no one could buy it. I mean, yes. Could I buy it if I had an account with Fidelity or certain other branches? Yes. But you have to remember, you can't just say, well, you could buy it other ways, so it's still open market. No, it doesn't work like that. When you go and let's say yesterday I woke up and realized my Robinhood account did not work. If I wanted to purchase GME yesterday, I couldn't do it because if I decide to go to another brokerage firm or another broker, I need to fill out all the paperwork, wait for my account to be set up, and then do a money transfer. And that takes anywhere from, let's say it minimum it could take is a day, but in general it takes 3 to 5 days. So you're probably not really able to trade until next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So no, someone couldn't just trade somewhere else yesterday. They were literally shut out of the market, and that's the problem. So what happened is the stock went down like it should have because no one could buy it. I mean, you can't buy it, so of course it's going to go down. The other thing is that a significant amount of options expire today. I mean, there's just some really bad things going on. It's really, really, really bad. There's no way that I can see Robinhood ever recovering from this. I just, it's literally like I mean, you can't go back in time and stop like a train wreck. Like, this is what this is. This is a company shutting down thing. Like, Robinhood needs to be shut down probably, and the amount of money that the stock went down, the amount of billions that were lost yesterday, they should owe that. All the firms that shut these stocks down should owe that money. And anyone involved in making the decision yesterday should be going to jail. That's pretty much what you do in situations like this to ensure it doesn't happen again. What's probably going to happen? A significant amount of people are going to leave Robinhood, myself included. I'm done. I left them as of yesterday. Well, I'm actually still in it, but I initiated my transfer from Robinhood to Fidelity, so that should take place. It might even happen today. It takes a couple days, though. As I said, when you make these kind of transitions, it takes a couple days. You can't just do it right away. So we have that going right now. So we've got, people are going to leave Robinhood. People are writing reviews on app stores and stuff. People are actually trying to get Robinhood removed from the Apple App Store and Google App Store for violating Apple's terms of service, which they did. So, there's things like that happening. People are filing lawsuits. But the problem with all of these lawsuits and everything that's going to come down is what's really going to happen to Robinhood. Most likely what's really going to happen is their company's going to suffer a bit. They may have to push back their IPO to gain public trust again, and they'll probably get a slap on the wrist. That's probably what's going to happen with this whole situation. Let's say they saved these hedge funds. Let's say they saved them like $2 billion. Robinhood might get like a $100 million fine, which is nothing. As I've said before, fines don't work if they're not more than what the company profited from the thing they did. Like, let's say I do something kind of shady or illegal, and I make $10 from it. And the government comes along and says, you know what, that was wrong. We're going to fine you $1. Well, heck, I should keep doing it because for every $10 I make, I only have to pay one of them back as a fine. So it's totally worth keep doing it. This is why companies keep dumping polluted toxic substances in our water because they save $3 billion from dumping it and they have to pay a $100 million fine. So of course they're going to keep doing it. This is what's going to happen to Robinhood. Their CEO knows it. They all know it. Maybe this event is bigger and there's something to it with all of us at Wall Street Bets and everyone. The problem is this isn't an organized group. We're the complete opposite. If you read Wall Street Bets and you've been paying attention to Wall Street Bets over the last year, heck, if you've been paying attention to it, it's been a little different over the last week, but if you pay attention to it, this is no organized group whatsoever. People are arguing with each other. Everyone's basically we're all making bad decisions and laughing about it. I mean, that's the nature of the group. It's like, hey, here's my bad decision this week. What do you guys think? I mean, that's what we're doing at Wall Street Bets. And that's what made the group funny. That's what gave it some personality. That's what we liked. And every once in a while, someone would hit it big, and it was like, man, you're like, that's awesome. You're lucky, That's what Wall Street Bets is. It's nothing organized. So I think what has to happen is there needs to be some kind of organization of people right now, but it has to be outside of Wall Street Bets because Wall Street Bets is Wall Street Bets. I don't want to make it. I don't want it to be some organized thing, but there needs to be something that is organized that right now puts pressure on Robinhood. together as a group, form some kind of unit, whatever that is. I don't know, but people leaving Robinhood is a good first start. Getting our politicians. I mean, we have Donald Trump Jr., Ted Cruz, and AOC. All three extreme politicians, right? Two on the extreme right, one on the extreme left. Guess what? They all agree with the same thing, that something bad happened yesterday. Just the fact that the New York Stock Exchange isn't the one to actually do this, and they're the only one who should be able to do it, even though it's shady when they do it, says everything you need to know about this. The fact that Robinhood is sitting there saying they're protecting their investors, or I'm protecting their consumers, us, and they did the complete opposite. The fact that the CEO can't even really answer the questions of why they had to do this. No one forced them to do this. They weren't directed by any organization to do this. They said it was all preemptive to protect us. And the only person they actually protected yesterday was these big hedge funds who have these big investments. That's who they protected yesterday. And it just tells you everything you need to know about that company and why we need to, why I am personally stopping my Robinhood account, trading somewhere else. This is not the first shady thing Robinhood has done, but this is way beyond the worst thing they've done. They've done a lot of other shady things. For example, big days of the market, when the market was rallying or crashing, Robinhood would just shut down their service, and they'd shut down their entire service and say that they were having problems with their servers and stuff like that. Okay. People bought it, but people were mad. This is an actual situation where it's like they didn't shut down. It's not like Robinhood shut down yesterday because they were having problems. They picked every stock that Wall Street Bets has been touting for the last 3 months, except Palantir for some odd reason. And they must have missed that one in their little research that they did. And just made it so you could not buy them. Absolute madness and crazy. Now, I checked GME this morning. I could purchase GME. Oh, you can't purchase fractional shares now all of a sudden. Only, you can only purchase whole shares, which is hard for people who only have $100 to invest in GME because they can't now. You have to purchase whole shares. But the one thing about it is that there's other shares that were shut down, BlackBerry, AMC, Nokia, and others that were, are only like $10, $20 a share. So they will be able to purchase those. I mean, if enough people rally together and purchase all these shares today, man, and the market just keeps going up, I mean, this is awesome. This is great. This is what we want to see. For right now, what am I doing? I'm holding my shares. I'm holding on. Will I sell at some point? Sure. I don't know when that is, if that's going to be today or that's going to be Monday or Tuesday. I don't know when I'm going to sell, but right now I'm holding steady. I'm canceling Robinhood and I'm holding my shares. And you do what you want. Don't take financial advice from me, because I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not your financial advisor. You do what you want to do. You look up a bunch of information about this and figure out what you want to buy. But man, if enough people rally together and buy this stuff, it's just going to be awesome to watch. The worst thing that we can do to the Wall Street right now is hold our shares and buy more. And it's funny to watch all these people doing it. Like, it's crazy that we do have this power. I think the thing is, we have more power than we think we do, and we need to utilize it. That's why I said there needs to be some kind of banding together organization. And that's not going to happen in Wall Street Bets, because that's not what we're about there. But there needs to be something for us, some place for us. We're going to find it soon. It's going to happen. I mean, if you go on any of the forums right now, any financial forum, they're talking about this, because I'm in a bunch of others besides Wall Street Bets. I'm in, and that's just in Reddit that I'm talking about. I'm in like investing, all the fire groups, Boggleheads, all the financial groups that I read are talking about the same thing, and we're all fired up and mad. I mean, it's so wrong what they did and what they are doing. It's so wrong. And Robinhood can't come back today and say, hey, we're sorry, we're going to turn on investing. No, that's like saying, hey, we didn't mean to have that car wreck that killed 4 people. Sorry. No, you killed 4 people. You can't come back from that. You have to suffer for what happened there. You caused a significant amount of people to lose money yesterday for people who own a significant portion of Robinhood. So we need to be paid back for that. So how's that going to happen? As I said, the way you pay us back for it, every dime that was lost yesterday should be fined, should be each of these financial firms should be liable for that. They should have to stop business until they can pay back the amount of money they caused each one of those stocks to go down yesterday times all the shares. Paid back all of it. And whoever made the decisions to do what they did yesterday should be going to prison. You start putting out punishments like that for these kind of crimes, and guess what? They're not going to do it anymore. But that's just not what's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen to them. It's the same thing. So we, as the user, I have to stop. What can I personally do? I can close my Robinhood account and never use them again. And that's what I can do. I can be a non-user. It's my choice. And if enough of us do that, then guess what? There's not going to be a Robinhood. There's not going to be a Robinhood IPO. I guarantee their value for an IPO tanked significantly yesterday. Half of Robinhood users have shares of GameStop. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Half of Robinhood's users have shares of GameStop. That's unbelievable to me and tells you a lot about the power that we have in the market. We have a lot of power. We have the power, if we're all doing the same thing, to be as big as one of these hedge funds. And it's crazy. And they don't want to lose, which I don't blame them. Who wants to lose? The problem is they're so used to winning and they control the market. It's like we're beating the house right now at the casino. I mean, that's the equivalent of what's happening. And I'm just infuriated. I'm in shock that I woke up yesterday to what happened. I'm in shock even more by the interviews by these people who are saying why this happened, because they don't have a reason. They came up with the lamest, lousiest excuse that makes absolutely no sense. And they can't explain it at all. Funny thing is, I saw the Robinhood CEO in an interview, and he was being interviewed specifically about this excuse that he had, that they had to have so much money to cover all the things, even though they don't have a liquidity problem. Okay. And then he basically, the interview asked, okay, so who from a regulator is going to come out and say that what you did is correct? And the guy didn't have an answer. He was like, well, I'm not sure what if the regulator's going to say or something. And I was like, what? Just remember, the only people that can shut down a stock are the SEC and the New York Stock Exchange. And neither of them shut down a stock yesterday. Robinhood did it themselves. A few other companies joined in. TD Ameritrade limited some things. E-Trade eliminated some things. Webull eliminated some things. But none of them were at the extent of what Robinhood did. None of them also have the user base that Robinhood did. And they all followed Robinhood's leads. I don't know the specifics of each of these companies. I know that Webull shut down these stocks for about 5 hours yesterday, some of them. And I think a few other sites were about the same. Robinhood shut them down before the market opened and didn't open them back up. TD Ameritrade, I'd heard, just shut down extended margins, which, okay, I can understand that. That's not a terrible thing. And, if they need to, if a stock's volatile and they extend margins, make it more difficult to buy on margin, I'm okay with that. So there were some limitations, but that's a little different. I'm okay. I can deal with that. And I heard the same for E-Trade as well. So, man, it's just crazy. It's crazy what's happening. It's crazy this is going on, and it's crazy to watch it unfold. So as there's more updates, I'm going to keep coming on and talking about what's going on with it, just to kind of have a self-reflection about all the stuff happening and my emotions during the whole thing. So good luck, y'all. Hopefully things are better today and we get some more answers later.